Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today we've got an explainer covering something that pretty much all of us do every single day, completely without a second thought. You grab your keys, you grab your phone, and click, you just slide your credit card right into the back of your phone case. You're out the door, and it feels incredibly streamlined, right? Super efficient. But today, we're going to look at the actual hidden data and the physical realities of that exact everyday habit.
Which brings us to the core mystery of our explainer today. Is your phone actually killing your credit card? I know, it sounds a little dramatic, but seriously, by the time we finish breaking down the evidence here, you might just want to rethink how you carry your money entirely.
We call this the convenience trap. Keeping all your eggs in one basket undeniably feels efficient, but as our source material lays out, it's a trap. And it's one that costs you in physical card damage, crazy technological interference, and massive security vulnerabilities. Okay, let's dive into this and look at exactly what's happening inside your pocket right now.
Section 1. Physical wear and tear. How your pocket destroys your card.
Let's walk through this chronological journey of destruction. Most phone cases press your card completely, tightly against the back of the device. So step 1 is friction. Every single time you slide that phone into your pocket, the magnetic stripe rubs against the case fabric, your pocket, or the phone itself. Step 2, bending. Cards are simply not meant to flex constantly. When you put a snug phone case in your pocket and sit down, you're essentially turning your jeans into a vice grip. It applies this intense bending pressure that creates literal micro cracks in the chip. And finally, step 3 is heat, which we're going to look at in just a second.
But the really crucial point here is what happens during that bending phase. Because of those microcracks, the delicate, tiny antenna inside your contactless card literally snaps. And once that internal antenna breaks, Tap to Pay is dead, permanently. You'll just be awkwardly tapping a broken piece of plastic against the terminal, getting absolutely zero response.
And that brings us right back to step 3, heat. 40 degrees Celsius. Our phones get incredibly hot, easily pushing past 40 degrees when we're gaming or charging or even just leaving them out in the sun. Now, credit cards are made of PVC, and heat physically warps PVC. So, leaving your card sitting directly on top of a hot battery for hours, it's basically slowly baking it in a tiny pocket oven. It warps the plastic and can even completely demagnetize the mag stripe.
Section 2. The invisible magnetic thread. Silent killers inside your phone.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how many different components inside your phone are actively fighting your credit card right now. First up, you've got MagSafe and wireless charging coils. The strong magnets used to align these chargers can directly demagnetize a mag stripe if the card sits right on them. Second, your phone's speakers. They actually contain permanent magnets that slowly degrade mag stripes over time. And third, your phone has its own NFC antenna, which directly interferes with the card's NFC chip. That's exactly what causes those incredibly frustrating failed reads at checkout.
Now you might be wondering, well, I use the chip anyway, so who cares about the magnetic stripe? But here's why this matters. While chip cards are way more resistant to magnetic damage than the old mag stripe only cards, that mag stripe is still there as your absolute vital backup. If your phone wipes that stripe, well, there are still a lot of ATMs and gas punks out there that rely on it. And if it's wiped, your card will just be completely rejected. No way around it. Section 3. The security nightmare, losing it all at once.
Honestly, this is the ultimate risk of the convenience trap. By keeping your card in your phone case, you are putting all your eggs in one highly visible basket. Think about it. If you lose your phone, you haven't just lost your device. You've simultaneously lost your money and very likely your ID if you've got that tucked in there too. Now, a thief has immediate access to your entire life. And remember, expensive, highly visible smartphones get stolen way more frequently than a wallet quietly tucked away in a back pocket.
And this setup actually leads to daily security threats too. People who keep cards in their cases tend to pull their entire phone out at the ATM. This is an absolute dream for shoulder surfers because it advertises both your card and your expensive phone to anyone standing behind you. On top of that, if your contactless card is constantly pressed against your phone's electronics, compromised NFC readers or even malicious apps could potentially interact with it. It's rare for sure, but keeping your card and phone separate completely removes the skimming risk.
Section 4. Practical problems when convenience backfires. Aside from the hardcore security stuff, keeping a card on your phone is just, well, it's incredibly annoying in practice. First of all, most physical cards actually block MagSafe for Qi wireless charging. So the great irony here is that you end up having to pry the card out of the case just to charge your phone anyway. Then there's the sheer embarrassment factor. You know the feeling. When your constantly rubbed, bent, and demagnetized card fails in a massive checkout line and you don't have a backup wallet,
You're just stuck. Plus, when your bank sees all that sudden physical damage and constant read errors, they might actually flag your card as potentially compromised and automatically block it.
Section 5. Smarter Wallet Alternatives. Protecting your card and peace of mind.
So let's evaluate the alternatives based on our source data. First up, going back to a traditional, separate SLIM wallet. The pros here are undeniable. It completely protects the card from friction and bending, and absolutely removes all that magnetic and NFC interference from the phone. The obvious con? It's exactly what we were trying to avoid in the first place. It's one more physical thing you have to remember to carry.
Let's look at option 2, the phone case with a built-in RFID blocking wallet. The pro here is that it's specifically designed to shield your cards from that magnetic damage and the heat we talked about earlier. However, the glaring con remains the security nightmare. If your phone gets lost or stolen, yep, you still lose your phone, your ID, and your money all at the exact same time.
Option 3 is to rely purely on a digital wallet, like Apple Pay or Google Pay. The massive pro here is that no physical card is needed at all, meaning nothing can snap, warp, or demagnetize. Plus, they use tokenized security, which is incredibly safe. The downside? As we all know from painful experience, these digital options just aren't accepted absolutely everywhere yet. So you can easily find yourself stranded at a merchant that only takes physical cards.
Finally, option 4, the sticker MagSafe wallet. This is kind of an interesting middle ground. The pros are that it's removable, so you can just pop it off when you charge. That keeps the physical card away from the worst of the phone's heat and interference. The con, however, is that it's attached via a magnet. That sticker can easily snag on your pocket, fall off, and get lost, bringing us right back to our original security issue.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. You've seen the friction, the 40-degree heat baking your card, the snapping antennas, and the massive security vulnerabilities of keeping your money strapped directly to a highly visible, stealable device. Ask yourself, is the illusion of convenience really worth the cost of a compromised card? Take a look at your phone right now. It might just be time to rethink what's in your pocket. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.